Welcome to Campus Connection. I'm your host, Michael Worthy. Today we're going to be talking with officers from Phi Theta Kappa. Now, Phi Theta Kappa is an international honor society for two-year colleges. With us today, we have two guests. We have the president of Phi Theta Kappa, Heidi Shelley. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And we also have another guest. We have the vice president of Phi Theta Kappa. We have Jessica Slater. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we begin to get into what Phi Theta Kappa is, I want to start with you, Heidi. How did you come to be at Cumberland County College? Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Well, I always intended to go to college. When I was in high school, I did get married very young, and I started a family instead. And I still always had the desire to continue my education, a desire that's never gone away. So 5 years later, I decided to go back to school. And I thought the best way for me at that particular time in my life, because you know, I was a mom of four, I figured that going to a community college would be the best avenue for me at the time. So I enrolled in Cumberland County College.
Great choice. I'm a former student here too, so you made a great choice. Now we're going to throw it to you, Jessica. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm a married mother and stepmother, 3 boys. This is actually my second time at Cumberland. I did come for, well, I didn't finish the first time. I came for a semester right out of high school about 10 years ago, and I wasn't ready for it, and I was graciously dropped by my instructors instead of failed out of my classes. Yes, that's very good now. And I too started a family, and
that's pretty good.
Well, I was working full time, and I found myself out of work like many people, and that's why I came back to school. And I hope to go on to Rowan for the public relations program next fall.
Yes. I'm actually a student at Rowan, and their PR program is excellent. There's a lot of great instructors there. You get a well-rounded education there. So if you transfer there, trust me, that's the way to go. Now, we're going to talk about Phi Theta Kappa now, and we're going to go. I'm going to throw it right to you, Heidi. First of all, tell us, what is Phi Theta Kappa?
Phi Theta Kappa was actually established in 1918. And it actually was originally established for junior colleges for women. Since then, it has become actually not only a national honor society, but an international honor society. It's designed for students who are able to maintain a grade point average of 3.75 for the first 15 credit hours. After that, once they are inducted into Phi Theta Kappa, they have to maintain their GPA, maintain it at a 3.5. Phi Theta Kappa stands for, I always think of WAP. It's wisdom. I can't remember the next one.
Go ahead, keep going. Go ahead.
Aspiration and purity. See, WAP helps me to remember that. So the main focus that Phi Theta Kappa focuses on are servicehood, scholarship, of course, fellowship, and community. So as members of Phi Theta Kappa, we try to encourage members to develop their leadership skills. And the way that we do that is introducing them to community projects, getting them involved in the community. And then we also offer them an opportunity for fellowship with other scholars. This year, we have, for our community projects, we have volunteered with the Big Brother, Big Sister. We've also volunteered with the SPCA. And every semester we do at least 2 road cleanups. And they're always a lot of fun. We get a big group of people together, we eat a lot of junk food in the morning, early in the morning, and then we go out to College Drive and find a lot of cool things outside.
That's great. Wow, that is great. And getting involved with the community is important. I always stress that when I go to the high schools and speak to the children, when I volunteer and go talk to them, because sometimes when they think they come to college, they're like, oh, it's just going to be like school. I got to take classes. My teacher's going to get on me if I do this. I'm like, no, college is a different world. And really, it's about commitment. So the next question I would have for you is, you're leader of the I'm Committed campaign. Could you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, all of our members, we make it a point that all of our members have their own project that they're a part of. But of course, we all make sure that we help each other out. I happen to be the captain of the I'm Committed campaign. And the I'm Committed campaign was created in response to President Obama's call to action. He created a call to action called the C4 campaign. The C4 campaign stands for Community College Completion Course. The reason why he designed that is because his goal is to increase graduating with an associate's degree by 15 million by 2020. So we also know that our college president, Dr. Sikanebi, he had created a strategic plan which is designed to increase graduation and retention rates of our students. Mm-hmm. So as Phi Theta Kappa members, we thought we have to get involved. We have to help in some way. Right. Especially since we're pretty much the brains of the college. So what we did, we designed the I'm Committed campaign, and we're encouraging students, as many students as possible, to graduate with a degree. And we find that a lot of students struggle, especially those that are coming in remedial classes, remedial English, remedial math. They're finding to have a very difficult time getting through these remedial classes before they can even start getting credits towards their degree. Right. And a lot of students drop out because of that. And we also find that students are being held back because of little things that shouldn't get in their way, like going onto our college website and being able to pick their own classes, for instance, or log on to Blackboard, which is a requirement for a lot of our science courses. And there's a lot of things that hold students back from graduating with a degree. Well, Phi Theta Kappa understands that completing community college with a degree matters. Right. It is with the utmost importance. We feel like it's community college's obligation, really, to make sure that their students succeed. Right. And it's their responsibility to offer as many resources as possible to get them through these little hurdles that they may come across. Yes.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you finished. And really, what you said is very important, Heidi, because as I said before, a lot of people do come to college and those hurdles are there, especially with remedial courses, because of course you don't get credit for them. You have to work your way up to that. But that's part of the journey. And you mentioned that Dr. Sikanebi was behind this, and of course the slogan for Cumberland County College is engage, inspire, and transform. But before any of that can happen, we have to care. Yes. There are people there that have to care. They have to know, people who come into the college, they have to know that they can go somewhere to get help. So I'm going to throw it to you, Jessica. Tell me a little bit about this Phi Theta Kappa project you're the leader of, Cumberland Cares, the campaign. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Cumberland Cares campaign is focused on spreading sexual assault and domestic violence awareness on campus and throughout our community. It's kind of a personal project for me because like so many women, unfortunately, I'm a survivor. And actually, Cumberland County has the highest domestic violence rate of reported cases. Yes, you're right. I did go online to look in New Jersey, and the highest percentage of forcible rape also. And these are just reported incidents. So I kind of, being a survivor, I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to try to spread awareness. And right here on campus is a great place to start. Many victims are college-aged women. And I just think it's important to not only educate young women about what the warning signs are, but also kind of let them know what their resources are in our community, what avenues are available to them to seek help.
Why do you call the project Cumberland Cares? Is there more? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? No? If not, we can
Just saying that Cumberland County College cares about this huge epidemic in our society.
All right. Well, the next question would be, what are your short-term goals? It's for you, Jessica.
Okay. Short-term goals, spreading awareness on campus. So we want to get students and faculty talking about these issues. We're doing this by putting out pamphlets all across campus, posting posters, doing this show. And we are going to have an annual awareness day the third Wednesday in April.
Okay. And your long-term goals?
Our long-term goals are to set up some training programs here on campus. Right now there's a need for faculty and staff to have some kind of training that tells them what signs to look for and how to respond to a student that comes to them in crisis. So we're working with the Center for Family Services to hopefully set up some advocacy trainings here on campus. We also hope to bring Green Dot here, which is a bystander intervention program.
Actually, we're going to be talking about that in the second half too. But thanks for bringing it up.
And finally, we want to have an information center or area, even if it's just a magazine rack on campus with information from different organizations within our community, so students can go there and access that information.
It's very important information, Jessica, because actually, I think this is going on like all around the country. Even at Rowan University, where I attend, they have flyers hanging up, and they say something like, you know, every 5 minutes a woman is battered, everything. And they have the website and everything that you can go to. We will be getting into that in the second half with Green Dot and everything, because I had to go online and look that up and see what it was about, you know, because people have to do their homework. They have to know that these resources are there. I happen to have a friend who went through that, the domestic violence thing, and she's a mother of 3. And a lot of things went down with child services and everything, but the most important thing was she had to get support regardless of what happened. Definitely. She needed to know she could go somewhere and get support and go somewhere to get help, because she felt like she was alone. And she was in college, and she felt like she was pulling the weight all by herself. So if they have somewhere to go, that can help them get through, because people who come to college, they have the personal issues they carry with them too.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why we have counselors, and that's why we have, of course, Phi Theta Kappa. And you know what, Heidi, I'm going to throw it back to you. And how much do graduates earn when they're done here at college through the program?
Typically, a graduate with an associate's degree will earn about $8,000 more than somebody that's just graduating from high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And to edge out the competition, could you elaborate a little bit on that?
To edge out the competition?
Yeah.
I mean, a degree is priceless.
Yeah.
And if you can, present a degree to an employer, you're definitely going to look a lot better than somebody that doesn't have a degree.
Right.
Not only that, but being a part of Phi Theta Kappa, you show leadership skills. You can show the different events that you've been a part of, and that also looks really great. Gives you the up.
Right, definitely, and that's true, especially when you belong to an honor society. I'm not part of an honor society, but I do know people who are. And sometimes there's a problem called there's job retention sometimes with unemployment. So just if you want to elaborate on that a little bit, like just the people watching at home, so they can know that they don't have to feel discouraged about that.
As far as
job retention, say like if there's mass unemployment going around.
Yeah.
So if you can just elaborate on that, especially for high school students, that they don't have anything to worry about, just like try to let them know.
Unemployment is there's a lot of unemployed in Cumberland County College, but those that do have a degree, the unemployment percentage is definitely decreased a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And making transferring easy when you're in Phi Theta.
Oh man, I always tell students, if you're going to transfer to a 4-year college, get your associate's degree. Even if you're a high school student thinking about going to 4-year college, go to a community college first. First of all, they're less expensive.
Yes.
They offer a lot of resources. You can live at home, You don't have to, pay a lot for, living on campus. And you always have that 2-year degree to fall back on in case anything happens in your life that prevents you from getting your bachelor's.
Right. That's very important because some people feel that, like some people say an associate's is not enough, but the reason why I have a job as an IT worker is because of my associate's degree, and that's the only reason they hired me. Well, at my age, but just to say that it's very important, and I also tell people too about transferring, going to a 2-year college before they go to a 4-year college.
Right.
Now, yes, some people do go fresh out of high school, and that's not a problem either.
No.
But what people have to understand is that it's all a journey, no matter if you're coming from high school or if you're coming from a 2-year school.
As long as you're making an effort to reach those goals. I think some students also, I wanted to touch on, was that some students might start at a 2-year college thinking that they're going to transfer without their associate's degree first. And a lot of problems arise from a student that's not getting that degree first. Some of the credits won't transfer very easily. But once you have your associate's degree, you're solid. It's much easier to transfer into a 4-year college.
And that touches on what you were saying earlier about accomplishing your goals and proving it. And really, the only thing that people have to prove is to themselves.
Definitely.
And I tell people that all the time because I was going to not get my associate's degree here and transfer somewhere else. But I'm just thankful that it turned out the way it did because I'm glad that I got my degree. I'm glad that I graduated here. As I said before, the only reason why I got the job I have is because I had that associate's degree. And it's very important that people know that. So I'm living proof about that. People watching at home, if you want to get further, go to a 2-year school, get that degree first, then transfer to a 4-year school. It's worth it.
I think also a lot of people find it easier to do short-term goals instead of, tackling a 4-year degree.
Yes. And,
it can be pretty intimidating, but you'll also boost your confidence once you get your degree. I'll be graduating in May, and for me, it's such an exciting time in my life because now I'm a single mom of 4, and I know that I worked so hard to get my associate's degree, and I'm looking forward to taking the next step in my life.
Right.
I feel like maybe if I just went straight into a 4-year college, I would probably be a little discouraged at this point and say, oh, I got another 2 years to go.
Yeah. It's kind of a building block because most of the people that I know, like a lot of people, not just me, people that I graduated with are now up at Rowan University with me, and it's a starting. It's something to build on. You have to start somewhere. Some people's like, well, I want to just jump here and get this. Well, sometimes you got to have an apartment before you buy a house,
right?
Because you may not be able to handle the mortgage, and that's all I try to tell people. And but people make their own choices, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to warn them. It doesn't hurt to tell them, listen. You may not think it's right now, but hey, education pays off. Got about 2 more questions here. One of them is called Getting Involved and Giving Back. If any of you want to elaborate on that. When you joined Phi Theta Kappa.
Phi Theta Kappa is a great vehicle for community volunteering to like our roadway cleanup, collecting books for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and going out to that Christmas party and being Santa's elves and handing the books out to the kids. It's very rewarding.
I know my personal experience with this particular college was that I feel like Cumberland County offered me an opportunity for self-awareness and to understand who I am, and it offered me an opportunity to work with other people and to understand how they are, and to be more culturally acceptable, and it's really opened my eyes in many ways, and for me, I feel like I need to give back. Everything that I've learned being at school, I want to be able to offer that to others.
Right. And one last question, being part of the solution. Any 2 of you can answer this, but knowing that you're educated, being part of the solution to a lot of problems going on out there. Actually, can I start with you first, Jessica? Just
Well,
being part of the solution.
You know, life is rough sometimes, a lot of different ways, and you know, what I've learned here at Cumberland, they're very wonderful, supportive faculty and staff here, is that, you know, a little encouragement goes a long way. So, you know, we need to be reaching out to our siblings, our neighbors, our friends, and encouraging them to get an education, because it is empowering. And
Being part of the solution. Go, Heidi.
If you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yes.
this is true.
Exactly.
I mean, every day we make choices, and we have to consciously think, you know, are we part of the solution, or are we part of the problem? And having education really helps you to be more aware of the choices that you make in life. And so, you know, people that are educated are more equipped to be a part of the solution.
That's very important. And you talk about education as if it's equipment. If you're going mountain climbing or something, just to use it as an example, you have to have the right equipment. You're going to fix a car, you got to have the right equipment, you got to have the right tools, you know what I mean? And that's very important, and people need to understand that education is not something that, oh, I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to go, you know, you do have to get involved.
And it's a process.
It is a process. It's constantly in flux. It's a work in progress, constantly.
And you learn things that you never even would expect to learn.
Yes.
I'd like to thank both of you for being here, but right now we're going to throw it to break, and we're going to continue our discussion on Campus Connection. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Larry Kane of the Cumberland Mall. All the best to everybody at Cumberland County Community College. Your success begins there.
If you study American history, every 30 years or so,
a generation is called upon to do something great.
Our grandparents' generation is called the generation that saved the world for their sacrifice and service in World War II.
Our parents' generation is the generation that connected all the computers in the world through the internet.
The next generation will face two challenges. The first is to connect all the people who are connected to all the computers on the internet.
The second challenge is to begin a healing in America over 3 historical events which have never been addressed.
Slavery, what we did to the Native Americans, and Vietnam.
Whose generation
will rise to that challenge?
Mine.
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 Welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm your host, Michael Worthy. The second half here, we're going to be talking about awareness and prevention. First, I'd like to introduce our guests for the next half. First, we have with us Dr. Terrence Hardee, Director of the University Center. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our next guest is Regina Ridge. She's the Program Director of SERVE, which is Services Empowering Rights of Victims. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We could start with a personal question, like how did you guys came to be at Cumberland County College? I want to start with you first, Dr. Hardee. So how did you come to be here?
Yeah, well, I've only been here since June of last year. And what happened is I moved to Violent about 2006, and I used to work at Stockton for over 7 years. And when the opportunity came available where I could work on the campus, shorter commute with gas prices, you know, it's always a good thing. But I really enjoyed what the campus has to offer here, and of course being a part of the community and being engaged in the community. You know, I really wanted to give back, and I think this was a great opportunity to serve my community by working with the county residents.
Okay, now Gina, we're going to throw it to you. So how did you come to be here at Cumberland County College?
Well, we are here wanting to work with the students. We're a nonprofit organization, Center for Family Services, and we provide services for victims of sexual and domestic violence. So part of that is getting education to the community and trying to network and get the word out there on sexual violence and awareness and domestic violence, and where how to be part of the solution on stopping the violence. So
just want to update you on the last half of the show, I mean the first half of the show, we discussed, you know, Centers for Family Services and of course awareness. So I'm going to start with you, Dr. Hardee. Tell us a little bit about this Green Dot Initiative. I know I went online and looked it up. It's at the College of New Jersey and it's also at Stockton. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what the Green Dot Initiative is that it's a comprehensive program that really try to engage students to be not reprehensible for bystanders. It's a bystander prevention with regards to when violence occurs or you witness violence, that you become engaged and you try to reduce the amount of violence that occur. Even, you know, by picking up the phone, calling the law enforcement, or engaging at the same point. But what we want to try to do is reduce the amount of violence in the community as much as possible to create a safer community.
Tell us a little bit about what the red dot is, because it starts with a red dot first before it can be a green. So tell us a little bit about that.
What it is the red dot is actually where violence occurs, where, you know, it could be a domestic dispute, it could be an argument, it could be a threat of violence. And the whole purpose of that is that wherever a red dot occurs, your goal is to try to create a green dot, meaning that you have intervened and you have tried to be more engaging, more active, and try to approach the situation where it will become safer.
Now, is this program active over at the University Center? Do you have seminars on this or anything for people watching at home?
Well, actually, I began my training actually at Stockton, where we got certified for it. But it's one of the things where it's probably done through the family, through Center Services, because it's one of those things. I'm just fortunate to be trained in that. But it's also active at Rowan University, at TCNJ, and also at Stockton. So it's not one area where you do the training. Really what you end up doing is more of a bystander intervention training. But what you learn when you do those kind of things is really just talking to people to engage them with regards to violence prevention. And so I try to do that no matter where I'm at, to talk to students about, you know, if they don't feel safe, this is a safe area, a safe zone. And then when I see stuff occur, I try to intervene as much as possible. So it's really trying to lead by example.
That's very important you mentioned that, Dr. Hardee, because I'm up at the university and everything. There are a lot of student leaders up there. A lot of them are young kids. And when we do have occurrences up there, there's no, not that there's no awareness, but there's no interaction from anyone else.
Right.
Oh, that's none of my business, so I'm not going to get involved in it. I don't want to get involved in that. But like you said, just picking up the phone, you know, asking a person if they're okay, that kind of thing. I think that's very important as far as students go, because not only are we members of a college, we're like, it's kind of like a family, you know, as people don't want to believe, but it's like we have to care about each other, because if we don't care about each other, you know, what kind of human being does that make us? You know, and there's a lot of different areas to cover on that, but to me that's very important. And Gina, that's where you come in, where we're going to talk about SERV, Services Empowering Rights of Victims. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Sure. As I said, we're a part of the Center for Family Services, which is a nonprofit organization. We've been servicing children and families for over 85 years. We provide services ranging from birth to elderly, and we service mostly southern New Jersey, and in part of that is crisis intervention, shelters, counseling programs, drug, substance abuse counseling and groups. So we have a lot of different programs. The one program that I'm a part of is SERV, and SERV focuses on victims of sexual and domestic violence. We provide both of those services here in Cumberland County. We offer a 24-hour hotline service where victims, friends, survivors, significant others, whomever wants information about our services or just about sexual domestic violence, they can call 24 hours a day. We always have staff answering the hotline. We also provide 24-hour crisis intervention services, and that can include responding to police stations, hospitals, court, for someone who may have recently been assaulted and they show up at the emergency room. We have advocates that have been trained especially in doing this and responding to crisis situations so that they can come out and meet with the victim. And more of like letting the victim know what their options are. If they want to press charges, if they want to seek counseling, it's really up to them, because being a victim of sexual and domestic violence, your rights have been taken away from you. Right. It's a crime of power and control, and it can be really detrimental to a human being. So our goal is to help that victim turn into a survivor and be able to recover from the traumatic event that they experienced. So if it's providing them with a safe house, if it's providing them with the counseling services, or just going to the police station with them, we're there to do that with them. So that's, and we do all those services free of charge, and 24 hours a day we'll offer that.
Tell us a little bit about, could you elaborate a little bit more on your position there? It says that you're the program director of it, so
yes. I'm the program director, and in that we have 5 programs within the Tri-County area. So we have a program in Camden County for sexual violence. We have a program in Gloucester County for sexual and domestic violence. And then here in Cumberland County, we have sexual and domestic violence as well. So each of our domestic violence programs also has the safe house and transitional housing for victims of domestic and sexual violence who may need, a lot of times victims of domestic violence may find themselves homeless. They may find themselves, you know, the best thing for me to do is to leave this situation, but I don't really have any place to go. So that's where we come in, offering them a place to stay until they can find another outlet of where they'll be able to find permanent housing. So we offer that in our safe house, and protection too. Sometimes it can be really life-threatening, especially when someone gets a restraining order, or it can be really scary. So having people around you to be able to support you through that, to know kind of what to expect. Every situation is going to be different, but to be able to give the support that they need, and our staff has the experience and knowledge to be able to guide somebody through that process. We don't make decisions for them, but we can tell them what their options are in making their own decision. So we also take their children as well. So it's not just for, both of our safe houses and transitional living units are for female victims of domestic violence, but that's not to say it doesn't happen to men either. It's not, I don't want to be biased. It's a very small percentage, but we do offer counseling services for men. We don't have the capability right now to have a shelter for men, but we can offer counseling services.
That's it's very important that you bring that up, because as I mentioned in the last half, I have a friend who was a victim of violence from her boyfriend, and she was a college student at the time, and she had to go somewhere where she could get support. And it kind of threw everything out of whack for her, because her children were her first oldest 2 children were involved. They weren't involved in the assault, but I guess the boyfriend decided to get the 2 kids involved, and she needed to feel like she could go someplace where she could be safe. And that's something that I think people at home watching, they need to know that. They need to know that they can have some place to go and they can continue their education. And when they come here, they like to know what they can do at the university center to make their education better. Say if they got their associate's degree and they're done. Dr. Hardee, could you explain a little bit more about your position and what you do at the University Center?
Well, as the Dean of the University Center, what we do is that we try to bring the 4-year experience here at Cumberland County. And right now we currently have partnerships with 6 universities. And what it is that we look at our current curricular program that we offer here at the associate levels, and we try to offer a bachelor's degree that students can transfer seamlessly once they finish their associate's degree into the 4-year school. 2 of our largest programs, which is Fairleigh Dickinson and Wilmington University, they have a strong cohort of programs that allow students to transfer, especially in fields like criminal justice, nursing, and some of the behavioral science. But then we also have some newer programs like Stockton and Rutgers University, who is here, and then we also have Rowan University, who this fall will be offering a computer science program. So we continue to grow. We're looking to continue to grow, but we also want to provide as much opportunity and access to the students once they finish their associate's degree to continue their master's, bachelor's, and even doctorate degree at the University Center.
Tell us a little bit about the partnerships, like how you go about getting these, because a lot of people, they feel like they have to go to another college, they have to transfer, they have to commute, when they can just do it right here.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the partnership.
Well, what we try to do with the partnerships is we try to find a strong cohort where we have enough students who are interested in a particular program. Now, you know, most universities will offer up to 100 different degree options. We're not that fortunate to have that many options, but what we try to do is try to put together the degree options that's going to make the student successful, that's going to give them most opportunity, access, because I think that's very important when you look at students able to grow. And that actually breaks the bondage of control too, because again, the more economical viable you are, then you have the opportunity to make life-changing choices. And so that's really the ultimate goal of the University Center, is to provide that opportunity and that access that for people who can't leave the county, who can't travel to like Montclair State University, where we have the P3 program there. It's just impossible for them to leave, because they could have a full-time job, they could have a family, they could have other life situations. And what we want to do is give them as much opportunity and access as possible. And because they're familiar with the campus, it really gives them that easy transition point so they can move into the University Center. So it's actually a great program. It's not too unique to the community college, because a lot of community colleges now are starting to adapt, but I think we do the best. And I think that's one of the things that we try to do. And we're constantly researching different academic programs to bring here. Like one of our goals now is to hopefully bring the BSW program, hopefully by 2013, here from one of the four-year schools. So we're constantly researching programs. We're trying to compare it up to the market, trying to share that type of resources, and try to give opportunities for all students to obtain that degree, and for students who maybe have finished their bachelor's degree to move on for the master's and the doctorate, because we do offer master's programs there through Wilmington and Fairleigh Dickinson. So, and also Stockton offers a master's also. So Rowan University started this year their first cohort in their EDD program. So again, we are expansive on that area.
What was you mentioning? It was the BSW? What was that?
Yeah, that's the Bachelor in Social Work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're looking, which is one of our biggest programs here. Of course, you know, nursing is one of our largest associate programs. So we already have the bachelor's in nursing, and we also have a MSW, a master's in nursing through Wilmington University. But we don't want to leave out the students who are looking for more of the social services. And social work is one of those areas where we know it's a need in the county. Again, domestic violence is a major issue, but you know, those are things we try to service. And one of the other new programs we did start this year is our child advocacy program through Montclair State, which is also tied into the whole domestic violence issue.
One more question before I throw it to Gina. At the University Center, are there any, for people watching at home, sometimes people can get to the campus only rarely or occasionally. Do you have any distance learning programs that people should be aware of? Is that part
Well, most of our programs, if you look through our Wilmington University and our Fairleigh Dickinson program, they offer a strong cohort of online courses. So that's not a different option. We do offer that through our program, but we also have different agreements through some of our other regional institutions that are not here, where they're allowed to take a full online course. We just signed a dual agreement with St. Joe's University, who offers a full online bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So it does allow those students to do a online distance learning approach. So we have that there, and I think whatever the students needs and wants, each school over there do have options for them.
And you mentioned too, if a student should happen to be in a crisis situation and they need help, I want to throw it to you, Gina. Tell me more about prevention work here in New Jersey and how you can help the students.
Well, the Center for Disease Control has a prevention program, and they selected New Jersey out of one of 6 states to pilot a prevention program. So it's kind of this happened, I guess, maybe about 6 or so years ago. I'm sorry, I don't remember the date, but it was a couple years back. So in that, every county in the state of New Jersey has been trying to do a prevention of sexual violence program through the CDC. The CDC has designated sexual violence as an epidemic, and we really historically haven't been really doing prevention work. We may have been doing a lot of awareness education. We go into the school and we'll talk to the kids and tell them about this and about sexual violence and let them know, but there isn't any follow-up. There isn't any ensuring that they know for it not to happen from the get-go.
Real quick, what is the CDC?
The Center for Disease Control.
Oh, okay.
And they're the ones who decided that sexual violence is an epidemic, and they selected 6 states in the country, and New Jersey just so happened to be one of them, to pilot a sexual violence prevention program. So in that, every rape care center in the state of New Jersey is working towards creating a prevention program, and we have selected a Green Dot as our prevention program. And it's, well, to be honest, it's pretty easy in the sense of you really just need to look out for one another. It's about bystander intervention. Everybody can do it. It's really recognizing signs, warning signs, and speaking up. The reality is there's a very small percentage of people who actually are violent criminals. There's more people like us that are not violent criminals that are able to say something. But most people don't say something because they don't know what to say, they don't know how to react, or they think somebody else is going to say something. So by giving the skills on what to say, how to do it, when to do it, whether it's you actually physically do something to stop a violent act, or you pick up a phone and call 911, or you go tell somebody about what's happening. These are all different ways that you can intervene in a violent situation. And even before it gets to that violent situation, you could say something that really could maybe change somebody's attitudes. Instead of laughing at a joke that's inappropriate, you can say, you know what, that wasn't funny. And don't laugh at it. And then maybe next time they might think twice before they say something inappropriate like that. So I know to our program, we feel like bystander intervention is a great way to start prevention on all types of violence, whether it's sexual violence, domestic violence, bullying, all those things. It's by being intervening, by being an active bystander, you're able to stop the violence before it occurs. And that's really what our focus is. And historically, we did do a lot of awareness educations, but it wasn't necessarily giving the people the skills to actually not even have the violence never occur. You know, like it's more secondary education, what we were doing before. So now we're doing primary prevention, and the fact of teaching people, individuals, the skills on how to speak up and do something.
You want to elaborate on anything?
Well, and I think also too, really to add to it, no, that's fine. I think the most important part too is that this is a safe prevention too. Because one of the fears that a lot of people, when they go to engage or try to involve, they think that they physically have to. And just say, you know, there's two males who are fighting, and you are a smaller person who don't want to get involved. Well, that's not an excuse by not getting involved. What Green Dot really shows you is that even if you go and contact somebody to try to intervene, you know, law enforcement, 911, campus security, or anyone, group of friends or the friends of those, to try to get them to stop their behavior, you're actually exercising the Green Dot mission, is to try to cut back on those type of violent activities. So I think it's very important that we understand safety is a major issue for everyone, but we also understand that by not intervening, that you really create and it becomes a more severe situation in the long run.
That's right. Any closing words, any closing thoughts on
I would like to, I probably should say where Green Dot came from, because it's not necessarily our creation. This is actually it was created by a woman named Dorothy Edwards from the University of Kentucky, and she's the one who came to New Jersey to train us and be able to provide that education. So if one that sees this segment is interested in learning more about it, you can go to the University of Kentucky website and find the Green Dot information on there about learning more about what to do. And we also are hoping to bring it to this campus as well soon. We hope maybe by the fall we'll have it here.
Now we're going to see what's been going on around campus. Here's our Getting Connected segment.
Thank you, Mike. Students here at CCC have always been asking the question, when are we going to have a school dance? Well, February 4, 2012 marks the Student Senate first masquerade ball. As the Student Senate transformed the school gym into a night to be remembered, I was on site to get a feel of their enthusiasm. The masquerade ball was catered by CCC's Culinary Arts, where light, delicious entrees were offered. Music was provided by Deaton Burke, also known as DJ Radical from the Vineland area. Photos were taken by Vineland's own TNF Camera Studios, and Student Senator President James Parrish was present. And how long have you been a president for the Student Senate?
This is my first semester, second semester actually as Student Senate President. I've been a member of Student Senate for all my semesters here at CCC, and I'm really enjoying it.
And what future plans can we look forward with the Student Senate? Like, what are the activities will you guys be putting on?
Well, we have a lot of different activities that's coming up. We actually are going to be promoting this year health awareness, and we're going to be doing what they call the Biggest Loser Contest. So through Senate, we're going to be sponsoring and having a Biggest Loser Contest to encourage health awareness. We're also going to be having a talent show this year that's going to be hosted on May 3rd. And it's just more student involvement, and it's about getting students engaged. Here at CCC, Dr. Seganebi, he had said, our president, has said that he wanted students to engage themselves in activities, and that's what we're trying to do, to give them something to engage in.
Okay, and with the masquerade ball tonight, what do you hope to accomplish from this event?
Well, I'm hoping to accomplish good memories. I'm hoping to accomplish students having a lot of fun, and I just want everyone to come and enjoy themselves. But most of all, I want to accomplish tradition here at CCC. When I'm going, and for the other senators that come in and presidents and e-boards, I wanted to be able to have an annual dance or annual ball for the students here, for the faculty here every year. So hopefully the outcome of this will be positive, and we'll be able to have this annually.
Now, was this a sold-out event, no more tickets, everybody bought all the tickets, or what was the big deal about this event?
Well, it was definitely sold out. We having it catered, as you might see across the gym, it's being catered, and it's sold out because the number that we reached, according to the calling art that we had here, they told us that we're at our number. We reached that number, and the students that are here, one thing I can say is that the ones that bought their tickets, they want to be here. And there are so many people still saying, can I buy a ticket? Can I buy a ticket? But guess what? You got to wait till next year.
We're standing here with the beautiful Kelly Slate. How was this event organized, Kelly?
Via the Student Senate. What they did was in October, they said, listen, we need to have a great student event. That's going to be fun. That's not going to be very costly. We just want to basically have an event for students on campus so they can have a good time, get a little food in their palate, and really show the administration, show the college that we can engage our student body.
Now, with all the tickets that have been sold, will this be an annual event or that's it?
The Student Senate would love it to be an annual event, and we hope it can be an annual event. Right now, we sold out on Friday, which is a good thing. So now we actually have to turn people away. Which that's a good thing too if you look at it, because that will tell students next year that when we have a ticket window of so many days and so many times to buy early. Don't wait till the last minute.
The masquerade thing was brought during our Student Senate meeting. We were basically trying to find out what could we do on campus to make it a formal event where all of our students, our professors, and everybody could come together and have a good time and be formal at it. So that was the reason for the masquerade ball.
And what has been the biggest obstacle in preparation for this event?
The biggest obstacle, I would say, was trying to rally up the students so that they could be aware of what was the masquerade for. And another big obstacle was trying to get the tickets sold on time so that we wouldn't come to the point where we will be sold out, which we did. This event is a sold-out event.
How do you feel about this event?
I'm very excited. It's the first one of this, that we were doing, and I'm hoping that it goes very, very well, which I think it will, because I like to see this happen again in the future. I think students are very excited and are looking forward to being here.
Now, do you have a mask today? Because it's a masquerade ball, I hope you have your mask.
I do. I came prepared.
Are you guys excited about this event tonight?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. Hope it'll be a good time.
And will you guys be on the dance floor tonight?
Absolutely.
Reporting with Campus Connection, my name is Tashika Scott, and now back to you, Mike.
I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on Campus Connection. I'd like to thank the officers from Phi Theta Kappa and the rest of our guests for being with us on the show today. Thank you, and I'll see you around. Thank you.